This recording is from the Digital Main Street launch event held on Monday, June the 13th, 2016, hosted by the City of Toronto. And John Curo, Executive Director of Tabia, is introducing Chris Rickett, the Manager of Entrepreneurship Services at the City of Toronto. He'll be telling us how Digital Main Street works. This recording has been brought to you by Connect for Growth and MainStreet, who helps engage consumers with merchants and BIAs through their mobile phones.
The office is here as well. We were out, I'll say it, after work, we were out sharing a soda pop. And Chris, sort of having come on recently, and it's relative, said, what can we do for the BIAs in the enterprise office? Where can we go? How can we nudge this along? You know, Michael runs the BIA office, and I see Ron Nash, one of his advisors here, and probably a couple of others. And we've talked about the challenge of the shifting consumer market, retail market, how trying to keep neighborhoods vibrant in this city through the BIAs was a bit of a challenge, because we're seeing slippage really to sort of that e-commerce side of things. You know, we had some great initiatives over the last 4 years with Yellow Pages, and I know they're here. Shop the Neighborhood initiative, which sort of was an easy way for us to get an understanding of how easy it really was for businesses to upload their deals, and if it's marketed properly, the response that could come from it. So we jotted a few ideas, and this whole idea of helping local business and developing a digital Main Street strategy for the local BIAs. And this will go beyond Toronto, folks. This is where the starting tool is. There's over 300 BIAs across the province that we can assist moving forward. You know, BIAs were founded in 1970 in Bloor West Village, right here in Toronto, and they've gone worldwide. And I think this is an opportunity for us to continue in that vein, if you will, be innovators and push some of the stuff, not only to our businesses in Toronto, beyond the BIAs, but the province, nationally and internationally, hopefully. So really, it's these two gentlemen. Michael, stand up out there. Everybody knows who Chris is. Mike Major right there. It's those guys that sort of spawned the idea, and Chris with his background and relentless knocking on doors to help garner some support, and those sponsors that are here or founding members. You know, it's your office that's done it. So without any further ado, again, I'm going to ask Chris Rickett, from the Manager of Entrepreneurial Services from the City of Toronto, to come up and speak a little bit about the pillars of Digital Main Street.
Thanks a lot, John. And yeah, this has definitely been a great journey in developing Digital Main Street, but it's actually really Nirvana champion from our team who took our kind of crazy ideas and made it all happen. So thank you, Nirvana, on that. When we really started looking at developing Digital Main Street, we were really looking at the kind of gap between consumer demands and where retailers were at. And really what we looked at was that 36 cents of every dollar spent in store was actually influenced by a digital connection. And then we looked at our retailers and what was happening on Main Street, and realizing that there's really a lack of digital adoption on Main Street. And how do we bridge that disconnect and start to bring our retailers along in the terms of digital adoption? So this idea of Digital Main Street was really about how do we develop this full package and suite. It was actually about just over a year ago, we had a number of Main Street businesses and technology providers here at the Drake, again, one morning, not after work. And we brought everybody together to look at how can we help you. And out of that, of course, came the idea of the web platform, digitalmainstreet.ca, which would really help provide a digital readiness assessment, and then provide a roadmap for Main Street businesses to figure out where they should be going next, and then of course connect them to vendors who can actually help them implement those solutions. But of course we heard that, you know, that's technology itself, and a website alone isn't going to be enough. And so we built out on top of that our digital service squad, our Geek Squad, and working with George Brown now, we actually have students that are going door to door and helping Main Street businesses onboard onto Digital Main Street itself as a platform, helping them understand their digital assessment, the things that they should be considering, but also helping them with those first initial steps, getting their Google My Business page set up, getting their Facebook page, getting their Yellow Pages listing, getting some of those basic pieces to make sure that they have a digital presence as their first step. Of course, building on top of that, we're rolling out the BIA Academy, and the BIA Academy is really about providing training, both at the local scale, but also across the city. One of the great things about Digital Main Street is that as we're going out and onboarding businesses in the 82 business improvement areas across the city, we're getting an idea where each neighborhood is in relation to its digital adoption. And so this is going to give us really good data to understand what kind of outreach and what kind of training we should be doing in certain neighborhoods. So here in Queen West, we found that there's a lot of digital adoption in this neighborhood. We're going to be heading out along Eglinton in partnership with Metrolinx in the coming months, and I think in some of those neighborhoods we'll see a lot different realities. And that'll help us go back, work with our partners like MasterCard and Shopify and Google and Yellow Pages to really look at what kind of outreach can we do in those neighborhoods to move the needle. So using all this data to really inform those decisions and help Main Street businesses, not only as individual businesses, but as communities move along this digital road. And of course, one of the interesting things that we're going to launch is the BIA Lab. And the BIA Lab is about really staying at the forefront of digital adoption here in Toronto. One of the great things that we found out as we were developing this program was that there's an amazing retail tech startup community here in the city. And there's great new technologies being developed every day here in Toronto. And we really want to capture that and help those companies commercialize and blow up their technologies and scale them globally. So what we're going to be doing is working with our Queen West is setting this area up as a place to test and demonstrate technologies. So we'll be doing things with MasterCard and Yellow Pages as an example along West Queen West, but we'll also be working with data labs to test their applications along West Queen West. So we're looking forward to that because this is all about staying ahead. So yes, let's get caught up, but let's make sure we're adopting the next generation of technologies here in Toronto as well. Again, none of this could have been done without our founding partners, Google, MasterCard, Rogers, Shopify, and Yellow Pages. When we all kind of sat down and started building this, I didn't really have a budget to actually do this, but we just kind of took it on a whim and we started building. And luckily, all of these corporate partners came along and saved me a really big reckoning at the end of 2016. So thank you very much for your funding support for this. So what is Digital Main Street? We'll give you a little bit of an overview of what the platform itself looks like, but this is digitalmainstreet.ca, and as a vendor who has technology solutions, you can come in and set up a profile. But as a Main Street business, of course, you can come in and sign up and do your digital assessment. And what we do is we ask you to go through, a Main Street business goes through, answers a number of questions about what they're doing when it comes to digital, and then we basically give them a roadmap of basic things they should be considering. So building their digital presence, telling their story, and these are all things like just starting out simple with Google My Business page, getting your Yellow Pages listing. And one of the great things is when you're onboarding, you actually get your Yellow Pages listing and your Google My Business listing as an automatic part of this process itself. So there's some initial great value there just to build your web presence that way. And out of this comes a full to-do list of things that you should be considering. And all of those recommendations then actually connect to various vendors. So of course we have our corporate partners who are our preferred vendors, and then a whole range of other vendors. So you can really make that decision yourself as a Main Street business who you'd like to work with. And we help you do that because with all of the vendors there's recommendations and references from past clients as well to help you in guiding that decision. And so one of the great things that we've done is we've worked with all of our partners to make sure that they can provide deals as part of the platform itself. So as an example, Turnstile, which is a great story of a business incubated here actually in West Queen West, actually tested their product, their platform here with Rob Sisek and the team in the BIA, really the first mass scale of testing their technology. And because of that testing, they've actually now sold their platform nationally and internationally. But as part of Digital Main Street, they're offering a 50% discount to add to as part of their offer. So businesses can sign in and they're going to get access to these deals because part of our negotiation is to try to drive down the cost of digital adoption at the end of the day for our partners. You can see the range of things that happen, testimonials and such, that when you're really looking into the vendor to figure out how you want to work with them, and of course can connect to the platform itself. Really, I would encourage everybody who hasn't set up a profile, whether you're a vendor or a Main Street business, to log on today and at digitalmainstreet.ca. And again, we thank all of you for your support, and we look forward to working with all the BIAs to roll this out across the city over the coming months. Thank you very much.